Tom Brady and his wife, Giselle Bundchen, have hired divorce lawyers amid rumors of a rift in their marriage, with the couple living separately after an epic fight and are looking at dividing their multi-million-dollar empire. And the thing is, I don't think people truly understand the kind of money that we are talking about in terms of Tom Brady. Because we're not even just talking about the money that he has made over the years in his career in terms of directly from the NFL. We're talking about sponsorship money. We're talking about investments that he's made. We're talking about potentially future contracts that he signed for his announcer role, which is also basically bigger than the majority of NFL players' contracts. Like, this could be one of the most expensive divorces, if he were to actually get divorced, one of the most expensive divorces ever, right? So Tom Brady and Giselle Bundchen appear to be headed for a permanent split following weeks of speculation that their A-list marriage is on the rocks. According to the New York Post, both celebs have retained divorce lawyers, and rumors have flown for the past several weeks that the two are living apart following an epic fight and are now mulling over how they would divide up their multi-million-dollar empire. By the way, this is why, in terms of marriage, it is one of the biggest financial decisions that you'll ever make. So, here's the thing. This is basically a simple guideline to follow to basically protect yourself in terms of marriage. If you are someone that is with another person and are thinking about marrying that individual, and there is a significant difference in terms of the net worth of the two. So, for example, let's say that you have a net worth of $1 million. Your partner only has a net worth, actually, no, your partner has a negative net worth because they have student loan debt or something. In that situation, make sure to have a prenup, right? And by the way, don't just announce a prenup randomly, right? Like, talk about a prenup very early on, saying hey, I want to be very serious in this relationship. I'm looking towards the future. Are you okay with a prenup? Because if you are, this is how we would go and do it, kind of thing. And would discuss it, blah, blah, blah. Right? Now, another thing is, by the way, this goes if your partner ends up having the higher net worth and you have the less net worth, you should still do the prenup. If two individuals are coming into a marriage where both of them have very significant net worths, so let's say one person has 2 million, the other person might have 4 million, you should have a prenup to protect your assets that came before the marriage. Now, if you both basically get married or are wanting to get married and you both basically got nothing or you're both basically negative, there is literally no reason to get a prenup. Even say you have your net worth is $20,000 and your partners might be a negative 10 or 40. There's literally no reason to get a prenup, not worth the hassle at all. Probably be too expensive for you anyways at that point in time. So it's just a very simple rule. Only if there's a really significant difference, or if we're talking about just serious amounts of money in discussions, that's when you should get a prenup. Other than that, there's not really much point. Now, for Tom Brady, anytime he basically would have gotten married, he should have gotten a prenup. Now, I don't know if he's gotten married multiple times or not. I don't know his whole love life situation, but the amount of money that he's making and has made for countless years is insane. Let's see. I don't think there will be any coming back now. They both have lawyers and are looking at what a split with will entail. Who gets what and what the finances will be, an anonymous source told Page 6. So the pair married in 2009. Wow. That really sucks, you know? I mean, they had a pretty decent length marriage and they're going to get a divorce. Like, that honestly sucks. Oof. Let's see. So legal experts speculate that Brady and Bunchen, 45 and 42, respectively, would file in Florida where they are primarily based after a decade in Boston. Another source told the Post that the pair is assessing how they would divide up their $26 million property portfolio, and most recently, the couple purchased a $17 million home on Indian Creek Island in Miami, an area fictitiously called Billionaire's Bunker. A condo in a luxury Tribeca building in New York City, worth $3.6 million, also belongs to the pair, as does a $5.7 million property at Mike Melman's exclusive Yellowstone Club in Montana. And the property most well loved by Bunchen is reportedly the pair's vacation home on the Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica, where the family has frequently vacationed over the years. And Brady's personal net worth ballooned from $180 million to $250 million in the last year, with help from a handful of hyper-lucrative endorsement deals with brands like Under Armour, Sam Adams, and Tag Heuer. Bunchen's personal fortune is believed to be in a similar range, if not higher. She has managed to continue bringing in a formidable salary since her days as a Victoria's Secret model. Now that's actually interesting, right? That's interesting that basically her personal net worth, right? That is not like basically combined with his, is pretty much on par. So basically, in this situation, it might actually be a case where maybe he doesn't necessarily have to lose that much money. Because if we're talking about where, basically speaking, both of their money, their net worths are pretty much equal ish, they might just decide to just split all the assets 50-50 and then just move on. If that's the case, that's basically the best case scenario, right, for both parties. But will that actually happen? Who knows? Like, it really depends on like the actual reasoning for the divorce, right? If one party ended up cheating on the other, it might change this whole dynamic, right? So both Brady and Bunchen fled to Miami as Hurricane Ian approached Tampa last week. Though it was reported that Bunchen stayed with the couple's children and Brady stayed elsewhere. Interesting. So the pair shares son Benjamin Rain, 12, and daughter Vivian Lake, 9, and Brady is also the father of son Jack, 15. Okay. The kids were spotted last Sunday wishing their father good luck ahead of his first NFL home game of the season in Tampa, with the Buccaneers sharing a video of the family hugging prior to that day's matchup against Green Bay. Tut, future Hall of Famer, says he has found joy in watching his oldest son Jack's budding football career. I think one of the great highlights of my life is watching him play and him grow and develop, and my kids in general too. Brady told Jim Gray on their weekly SiriusXM podcast. So I love watching him kind of dig deep and especially play team sports. So Jack is Brady's 15-year-old son with former Flame actress Bridget Moynahan. So basically this really depends on what, like, if, like, basically, I don't know, but if Tom Brady had a prenup with this model that he is married to right now, like, did he have a prenup? If he did, what was entailed in that, right? Now she might have written up a prenup to him, right? Because apparently both of them are making disgusting amounts of money or have been making disgusting amounts of money for a very long time. So it just really all depends on like the agreement. Like they might have already decided, roughly speaking, how they were already going to do their divorce. Let's see. Brady's eldest has been playing free safety and defense, but has been under center on offense, which has naturally pleased his quarterback father. Okay, so basically this is just him pretty much saying that he loves his son and all that kind of stuff. So since rumors of the tensions between the pair first emerged, multiple reports claim that Brady's decision to U-turn on his retirement earlier this year was the trigger for the marital problems. But here's the thing, right? Isn't that kind of crazy though? I mean, that, oh, like instead of retiring, he wants to go back to playing the game? Like, it just, I don't know. He had initially quit his career in part to focus on his family, as he vowed to spend more time with them, since Giselle deserved what she needs from me as a husband, and my kids deserve what they need from me as a dad. Many believe that Brady re-entering the NFL became a bone of contention for Bunchen. However, their rift is completely unrelated to the former Patriots star football career, DailyMail.com can confirm. Bunchen is her husband's number one cheerleader and said she would not care if he played until he was in his 50s, but the friction between the two has still resulted in them living apart from one another. So, I mean, here's the thing, who knows? There might be cheating going on, I don't know, but it seems really odd that basically they'll just end up getting a divorce because they're like away from each other. I mean, if he has to like go and like work for his job, his career, that's what he's going to do. And the thing is, like, you knew what you're basically getting into years ago when you first married him, so it doesn't really make sense. But let's check out some of the comments on this. Let's see. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. How a happy family can come to this overnight. He should have stayed with his first baby mama. She's much prettier. Tom Brady is a major cheater. He's one of those athletes who makes those he rendezvous with sign non-disclosure agreements. Giselle must have finally found Put Z. She deserves much better. I mean, I don't know how you can claim that. I think Tom Brady is the GOAT and have loved watching his epic success, but if he loses his marriage and family to chase one more trophy, it would be a monumental failure. The thing is, I don't think this is the case because she basically knew what she was getting into when she first married him. Like, this dude is a very driven NFL player that wants to get championships. She has devoted her marriage to supporting everything he did. I imagine she is afraid he will get hurt and she'll spend the rest of their marriage being his nursemaid. The thing is, I doubt that too, because the thing is, we're talking about two individuals with like multiple nine figures of net worth that could easily afford in-home care. Marriage isn't easy and take work on both sides. You have to think about your family, not yourself. Obviously, from all the appearances, they seem to have a pretty good marriage. So think about the kids. There's an old saying, the grass isn't always greener, but where it is, it's usually over the septic tank. And that's a kind of interesting thing. I mean, feel free to give your thoughts on this. Honestly, I thought it was going to be probably way worse than it might actually be, because if their net worths are truly very closely like leveled in terms of like, okay, he might have like 250, 300 personal net worth in the millions, she might have roughly the same, there probably won't really be that big of an issue between the two of them. And there probably wouldn't even necessarily be really child support because both parties can easily pay for the kid. Like because like, it wouldn't really even make sense for there to be alimony or child support in this situation, depending on the actual reason of why they got divorced or will get potentially divorced, right? Because I mean, if there's a whole cheating scandal and all this kind of stuff, right? She could potentially just throw him in like under the rug and like run him over with like a bus or something and like get him for a crazy amount of money. Who knows, right? But if this is just like a mutual thing where they both kind of are not really wanting to be together anymore, then it might be something that is like very mellow in the actual outcome. But this is the thing. Who you marry, if you do end up getting married, is one of the most important financial decisions you could ever make because this could truly make or break your finances, like completely.